Welcome. Hello, hello. I'm glad you're here. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Oops. Uh, so I'm glad you're here. You're here either now or on the replay. In either event, I hope you feel free to comment. Today, I hope to shake up your thinking a little bit in a way that makes you happier. A happier, magical unicorn that you are. I've got some good stuff for you today, so stay tuned. I think I need to bring this closer to myself. That might make me too loud, but whatever. Maybe someone will tell me. I always like that because I can't tell. There's no way to tell. Anyway, today, that's this. There we go. That's what we're going to talk about today. And maybe it's just me, but I have felt like there's kind of an elephant in the room of voice professionals. It's about what we call ourselves. Hi, Rita. Good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Rita just told me. Sounds great. Thank you, Rita. So people have a number of different things that they call themselves. Cynthia Vaughn of Magnolia Studios, when I put this post up, she pointed out that singing teacher is a really comfortable choice for her. Most people use the monikers voice teacher or vocal coach. Some people have opinions about that, but most people just sort of think of themselves one way or the other and they leave it at that. So personally, I myself have been on the fence with that for years, literally years. The people who taught me were voice teachers. I have felt like my job is to teach people to use their voices, but I'm a popular music person. That's all I do. So the people I teach, so Rita teaches too, the people that we teach sing into microphones. So in that world, the world of popular voice, the preferred term is vocal coach. Historically, I personally, again, me, Meredith, have put that preference down to two things. The first is that vocal coach is what like Blake Shelton and Katy Perry call themselves, and when they make suggestions to singers on TV. So I kind of think that whole package of like popular music and a famous person and the notion of instant stardom and all that good stuff has made that term sort of the preferred term for popular voice. And the second reason that I historically, oh, Wendy, I love this. Sorry, but I have to share. Student canceled. Wait, isn't that a bad thing? Not for me. No, sorry, Wendy. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Sorry your student canceled, but glad you're here. So the second reason that I attributed that preference of vocal coach to is that it tends to soften the mistrust that self-taught musicians of popular styles have for formal education. And if anyone is here, Rita or anyone else who has had experience with that, if you have comments, I so want to hear them because this has been my experience. It is a real thing, y'all. So generally speaking, the feelings of these musicians, these self-taught musicians, the feelings they have toward learning music are kind of, they're interesting. They're perplexing. When they are in situations where they're confronted with their inability to read music or communicate in the language of music, then they become aware of their limitations and they feel this kind of like embarrassment about it, this sort of low grade shame about it. But also, so that happens, but also simultaneously, they feel guarded and suspicious of formal education. And that is because of a value that they hold dear, which is the value of originality. So in other words, if I, the band singer or the singer-songwriter, go to you to teach me to sing, I probably believe that you are going to try to make me sound like someone else. And I fear that because I want to sound like me. So friends, there is more to it than that. The choice of what you call yourself represents a mindset, your mindset. I mean, besides the other people, right? It's your mindset that will affect the manner in which you approach your profession and your clients. So I think it's kind of a big deal. personally. So stay with me. Stay with me. We're going to unpack this. I'm going to mess with your mind a little bit. We're going to have some fun. So I am Meredith Colby. Where's my slide? I support voice teachers and coaches to create confident teaching and singing of microphone-based styles. I bring information to teachers and coaches through media platforms and classes to help them fill in the gaps in their learning so that they can effectively and lovingly help their students find their true voices, and by doing that, create a prosperous voice studio. I am the author of Money Notes, How to Sing High, Loud, Healthy, and Forever, which introduces neurovocal method, a way to teach voice for popular styles based on brain science. I would love for you to contribute to the conversation. I love that there are people here already. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Please click the thumbs or the hearts. Other people can do that better than me. I can't. Either now or on the replay. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you will like this video and follow my channel. My freebie today is the article. Thank you for the thumbs. It's the article that this broadcast came from. So you can get that link on Facebook by putting the word name in the comments on my page. If you're not watching on my page, you'll have to go to my page. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can get that link in the description below. When you go to that article, you can scroll down and get yourself on my mailing list. So once or twice a week, I will send you emails that include discount codes for good stuff, interesting blog posts, videos, and reminders about these live broadcasts. And if you sign up on my website, there's some great free downloads you can get too. Just saying. So get that link and add my name to your list. We could be email friends. Okay, now, voice teacher. I just sounded like my dog when I did that. Okay, slide. I just reminded myself of my dog. Voice teacher, vocal coach, what's the diff? Why does it matter? It matters because language matters. Language shapes the way you perceive yourself and your world. Your perception of yourself in relation to your world guides the way you interact with your world. So language matters. We just started a new neurovocal method certification class this week, and with a group of really smart and caring professionals, as always, in that class. By the way, if you missed signing up for that class, there's one more this year, and you can sign up for the summer one. I will run another one starting in June, so maybe you can join us at that class. Anyway, on the first day of class, we talk about brains, and the exercises that I give the voice pros, which Elspeth and Wendy will remember, is that they have to phonate on a held pitch without singing. So that sounds easy, right? No, it is not easy. It's not easy. But the tools that help people find that functionality are nearly always attached to the words that they use, which is interesting. I just saw a thumb go by and I'm thinking that's someone who is agreeing with me that it sounds easy, but it's not easy. But the way that they are able to do it is because of the words that they choose to associate with the sounds that they're making. It's very interesting. And again, language matters. So now, the word teacher is a powerful word. It comes with a lot of responsibility. A teacher is one who teaches. It implies a necessary hierarchy. So don't hear me saying that in a bad way. The student doesn't know about a particular thing, construct, and the teacher does know about the particular construct. And here's an example. When you learn to read in basically the same way that I did. The written word is a social construct. And by that I mean it doesn't exist in nature. It's not a naturally occurring thing. It is the only place that it exists is in our minds. It is a construction of the human brain. But what makes it really powerful is that we all agree on that construct. And the result of that, of learning that construct, is a predetermined outcome. namely the ability to read and write. Dialects notwithstanding, we all agree that, I have a slide for this, the symbol A represents a particular sound. And when we, or the symbol, that symbol, right? And when we use that sound in the context of a sentence, whether we're reading a written word or we're uttering a spoken word, it has the function of identifying or designated the concept of a singular item. There, I just used it in the word, in the description, a singular item. We all agree on that symbol. Hey, Leanne. We all agree on the symbol, the sound, the function in grammar, and how grammar functions in our language. So we all have that, we all agree. So that's our construct. And as societies, we have benefited immensely from that agreement, right? As one person teaches another about the construct we call written language, that teacher empowers their student to expand their thinking and their world. So all that to say, teaching's a good thing. I'm just going to mention here that if this is going by too fast, because I know this is a lot of blah, or even if it's not and you just want to see it, you can get the link to this article by putting name in the description on Facebook, or you can get it in the description on YouTube. Once you're on the page with the written version, you will have the opportunity to sign up for my email list. So go for it. Do it. And we will stay in touch. So carrying on. Wait, here we go. In much the same way that language is a construct of the human mind, singing is also a construct of the human mind. You knew I was going to get around to singing sooner or later. Regarding certain types of singing, the desired result of learning that construct is an outcome that is predetermined, just like reading and writing. If you are on either end of the transfer of knowledge about Western classical singing, then there must be an agreement about the desired outcome. The person teaching must know how to transfer that knowledge, and the person learning, and I emphasize this with all the love in the world, you guys, the person learning, even if they're especially if they are very young, they must be clear that this is what they have agreed to learn, because it is a very specific construct. Thus, in the case of transferring knowledge about Western classical singing, the teacher is indeed a teacher. The student does not know the thing, and the teacher is transferring specific knowledge to the student, just like our reading and writing. In other types of singing, though, so here we go. So, ergo, with Western classical singing, the word teacher is very appropriate. That's the bottom line there. In other types of singing, however, the desired result is not predetermined. In fact, in all popular styles of singing, the values around the construct of singing are powerfully influenced by the singer themselves. Big deal. Popular styles do not have a universally agreed upon aesthetic outcome. The values that a singer expresses are generated by the singer, not by the genre. Now, here's what I mean by that, and I will use a couple of examples of my students. For just simple examples of this, my student Sarah loves singing music from Golden Age musicals and jazz standards. And she is a stickler for pitch. It's really important for her to be right in the middle of the pitch. My other student, Camden, is a singer-songwriter, and she writes songs that are very narrative. They have lots of lyrics that go by really quickly. She doesn't really care about finding the middle of every note. What's important to her is having her lyrics understood. So these values are distinct and particular to each person. So I pivot the way that I help them based on the outcomes that are important to them. That is not to say that I don't introduce new skills, because we do, obviously, or make them aware of other musical values in singing. We do that too. But I do that with a knowledge and respect of what matters to them as individual artists. In other words, I coach them. I think of myself as a coach because I guide someone who already knows how to do the thing. Like a business coach, or an athletic coach, or a performance coach. These coaches work with people who already know how to do the thing, but they would like to do it better. And honestly, guys, within the framework of that thing, they're experiencing limitations they would like to overcome. And that's what I do with singers. I don't teach them a way to sing that involves a predetermined outcome, because everybody knows how to sing at a really basic level. I help them solve their problems within a thing they already know how to do. I coach them. So in the process of coaching them, I will definitely have the opportunity to teach them how to use their voices in a way that will make their singing easier. And I may be able to teach them some things about music and singing. And actually, there are people here who have worked with me. And I think, and if you want to pipe up about being coached as opposed to being taught, feel free, because it's interesting. But even though I'm teaching the person certain skills, or I may be introducing certain skills, I'm not teaching them how to sing. I am not teaching them how to use their voice. Well, here's Elspeth. I'm going to get to that. They already know how to sing. They already know how to use their voice. I am coaching them to use their voice in a way that will get them closer to the musical expression that they want. Big deal. Okay, hold on. Okay. Elspeth is contributing to this conversation. Whoa! Okay, I'm hiding behind Elspeth's comment. That's okay. I always used to call myself a voice teacher, where I was the expert and the student was there to learn what I had to offer. Now I've changed my teaching approach to be more of a team effort. And so I think of myself more as a voice coach, where we work together. Thank you. It's a different... Okay, but here's my question. Does that... So as you think of yourself as being part of a team, the term voice coach feels more comfortable to you and more accurate. Am I right? Because I think that's important. Like, how we define ourselves makes a difference. So getting back to the original thought, and this is what I was saying, which is that language shapes our perception of ourselves, and therefore, as Elspeth is saying, how we interact with our world, whatever our world is. I would like to challenge you to think of yourself as a voice coach when you are working with popular styles. And literally, if you're working with high school students and you're supposed to teach them classical this 3-month slot, whatever, you have to get through a classical and a music theater and a pop. You can literally change your title based on the music you're working with. Because if you're teaching them from the 24 Italian songs and arias, you're a teacher. There's a specific way that stuff is supposed to be created, right? But as you move through the other genres, are you still teaching, or are you shifting to more of a coaching relationship? So I believe that if you change your language and you change that title that you give yourself, you will go into the process assuming some pretty great things. So things that are empowering to both you and your student. And by the way, this list that I'm about to close down with, it's included on the download that I'm offering you today. So you can do that. Oh, good. Thanks. I was hoping you would comment, Rita, because Rita isn't experienced. So the way I have looked at it is if they're a beginner and learning to sing, and as their skills improve, I move more into the coach title. I go back and forth in my mind. The better they get, the more I become a guide on the side. So when you're teaching them basics, you're teaching them. These are basic constructs that need to happen. That's so, it's interesting, isn't it? That the way you think of yourself is helpful to you. I think of myself as both, says Wendy. So they learn how to sing, and when they accomplish it, I become their vocal coach. When they accomplish, oh, I wish we were together, Wendy, because I would ask you about that. Because learning to sing is a lifelong thing, right? So they're never going to really accomplish that. I haven't accomplished it yet, and I've been doing it for 50 years. So, um, but when they become more, I'm gonna guess that you are meaning like when they become familiar with their instrument, when they have a sense of agency over how they're making sound. That's when you move into more of a coaching situation, or more maybe having to do with the type of music that you are working on together. Again, that makes a huge difference. I think it makes a huge difference. So when you become that vocal coach, sorry, I just getting the neurons to fire, man. Okay. When you become that vocal coach, you can have different assumptions. I'm just going to throw these out here. These are on the download too, or the link today. You can assume that you are not responsible for the outcome of this song that you're working on. Because I happen to know that as classical teachers feel very responsible. Often, not always, but often feel really responsible for the outcome of the performance, the level of performance that the singer shows up with. You can assume that you are guiding this singer, as these professionals have mentioned today, that you are walking beside them, not necessarily leading the way. That you can assume that you are helping another artist explore their unique voice, both literally and metaphorically, which is fun. That's part of the unicorn part of our jobs, right? And you can assume that there's nothing's wrong. They literally can't do anything wrong. And it can be efficient or inefficient. It can be closer to what they're wanting to express or farther from what they're wanting to express, but it can't be wrong, which is really nice, right? You can assume that you're helping them achieve greater agency over something they already know how to do. And that together, both of you can have a lot of fun doing that. So thank you for being here with me today. I am Meredith Colby. Thanks for being here today or on the replay. If you want to reach out to me personally, please feel free via my website, which is there. Please feel free. Anyway, stay well, stay safe, be nice to yourself, and have a great week. Thanks. Bye-bye.